Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the All Elite Murder Theater podcast. This is our special edition at Double or Nothing. We are sitting here very tired after our long pay-per-view evening. Since we're all just a bunch of old people and we need our rest and our insure in the morning, we're tired. So we're going to try to recap the night's events, tell us what we like and what we don't like, and we're going to go from there. Chris, how are you today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. My lovely wife Tammy, who is honoring the Ty and Sammy Guevara entrance. How are you?
Not completely, but thank you.
How are you today?
Well, part of this, I just want you to know, if you're wondering about my look, yes, I do agree it's a little bit inspired by them, but it also, that 5-hour long wrestling night, I turned heel. It was so long, I turned heel. So it's a little bit of both.
So
other than that, I'm doing great.
So now
Where's JR when you need him?
hey, she's turned heel on us. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen,
but we'll get to that later.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a nice woman, young woman, who's gone off the rails and is now a heel, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing it here tonight on Double or Nothing. Check out my link in the bio for my barbecue sauce. It's excellent. So we're going to get into this right now. We had 1.5 hours of promos that went through the whole front of this event. I felt like I watched promo after promo after promo, and then finally we get to Hookhausen and Neeson Sterling.
Was that the first match?
That was the first match.
So long ago, I can't remember.
So long ago, nobody even remembers. Tammy, I'm ready for some notes on this one.
All right. Well, I'm shouting out to one promo, even though we saw 1,000.
Shouting out.
The night who's winning my award is shout out to the Kingston epic promo. That was just epic. So, anyways, okay, the niece Mark Sterling versus what did we call him? Hookhausen?
It's Hookhausen, damn it.
Hookhausen, Downhausen and Hook. I was trying to keep an open mind on this one, but it was starting out silly and I wasn't super excited about it. It was Sterling, being in there. So I'm having a high appreciation for Hook right now after he starts throwing Team Yellow around. Hook saving this match for me. Unexpected turn of events for me to say that about him. Danhausen curses, Hookhausen wins, and to me, that was a clown show wrestle.
Clown show wrestle. Well, I enjoyed that wrestle. I thought it was a good wrestle. Chris, let's hear your opinion because we know you're salty on stuff. He's salty, ladies and gentlemen. He's very salty on some of these matches. We just can't understand why.
I don't really have anything bad actually to say about this. Mark Sterling's actually a pretty good in-ring guy as far as somebody that can get thrown around easily or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was nice because it didn't look like somebody that didn't know how to take a bump. It was somebody that took a bump well. Yeah, Danhausen was cool. He got to actually have a little bit of a match this time. But Hook, I think definitely is getting over with more people. He's starting to get I'm starting to actually like him for some reason, and I don't really know why now. But I know that I don't hate him on TV as much anymore. And this felt like a cool match, and I like the weird partnership with Danhausen, and it makes no sense and it makes sense at the same time. So
yeah.
it was all kind of funny and like a good way to start the night. And that was maybe one of the only funny things in the night.
Yeah, and it
wasn't a lot of comedy stuff happening on this show.
No,
it was brutal.
Funny. It wasn't like Dynamite when
the cursing is just my favorite. It's so dumb. And like the weirdest gimmick in 2022, right? Yeah. And it's still hilarious and wonderful somehow.
Yeah, it's funny. It was very entertaining. I liked it. I'm starting to like Hook a lot more too. He's got great moves, man. I mean, he really knows how to execute the moves. And so, and then Danhausen, I've watched a couple of the Danhausen matches, like in his independent stuff, and he is a good wrestler. He really is. He may be very clownish, but he's still a good wrestler. And so, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a good way to open up the match. Everybody loved it. I mean, they went nuts when he came out. The whole crowd went berserk. I mean, they were super charged up that Danhausen came out, and they all enjoy Hook too. So, I say it was a success, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. Yeah, and then we get into MJF versus Wardlow, and I got a couple of good JR lines here. I got all right. So we got, he's a major brick in the foundation. What else we got? We have here a failure to communicate. That's another one of good JR lines there. How many more will we see when it came to the power bombs? And the agony and the blues, Tony. The agony and the blues.
That's a good one.
And then he goes, and then at the end of the match, he goes, well, it was pretty straightforward, folks. That was it. Tammy, what are your notes?
All right. First of all, MJF and his over-the-top house coat was all of
Over-the-top house.
Burberry. He did not disappoint in the fashion area. Wardlow's entrance is epic. Love the crowd chanting. And then I'm not sure what I meant by this, but roly-poly, and MJF appears in pain. It's a trick. Wardlow is on to him. Wardlow power bombs MJF away. It's what we've all been waiting for. Something feels less than satisfying about it, though. But the triumph of Wardlow, it makes up for all of it. A way overdue wrestle.
Oh, yeah, and I like Wardlow's true emotion at the end of it, which I thought was really cool when he had his speech and he got all
worthwhile,
because you could tell how much the fans love him and now how he really appreciated the fans. And I thought that was really a cool moment, and that's gonna just make him that much more of a superstar down the road, in my opinion.
I loved it. Love that part.
Chris, what's your
moments of the night?
Let's give us your take, bud.
This was kind of a squash match.
It was, but it was supposed to be.
I mean, no ring. He tried with the ring. The ref did that one bit where he's standing there and he's like, and he yanks it.
Yeah.
That was a little Three Stooges. I liked it. But yeah, the rest of it, man, he just got the shit kicked out of him. He took way too many power bombs for a human being, and that's not good, I don't think, for anybody. And Wardlow is officially all elite.
He is.
As if he hadn't been, but he is. He's
right.
So maybe that means, where does Wardlow go now? Where does he go? Does he have to deal with the mid card for a while to get up to who's next? He's certainly not going to be at Punk anytime soon. Maybe he is.
Maybe he is.
Maybe, we can talk about that more when we get to it. But yeah, there's only a couple directions Wardlow can go now. And MJF, this could have wrote him off TV for a little bit because he's injured or whatever. So we'll see if he shows back up.
Yeah,
it's all quite mysterious at the moment.
The gurney was a nice touch, though, when they pulled him off in the gurney. I thought that was hilarious.
The theatrics were great. The theatrics were really over the top.
Yeah,
it's really hard to determine what's kayfabe and what's not right now. It'll be interesting in the coming weeks to see how this all rolls out.
So
yeah, I've heard a lot of that. Some of my friends were there at Double or Nothing and didn't get to do the meet and greet, which you're alluding to. So it is interesting, and nobody quite knows what to make of it.
That's
well, I mean, true. Tony himself didn't want to say anything about it, so that's unusual in a company that's very open about what they do and what they plan to do, and for him to suddenly stop commenting on the MJF situation is a little weird because up until now it was all good things.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Could still all be a work, man.
Could be.
I mean, people
Work yourself into a shoot.
people tune in for MJF, regardless if he wins or loses. I mean, you all got to look at it at money. It's money. That's money.
Exactly.
MJF is money. Wardlow's money. And so, but I am curious, like you were
I don't
mentioning
understand
before.
what we're talking about. What do you mean about this money, money, money?
Well, like the works generate people's interests. You know what I mean? And that generates viewers, which generates money. So
And
True,
ratings
but when
and sponsors.
fans lose money, that doesn't generate anything good. I can tell you that.
what'd you say?
When the fans lose money, it doesn't generate anything good. And some people paid for that meet and greet and didn't get to do it.
Yeah, but they're going to get refunds, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are they? They should be able to get refunds. I mean,
I don't
and
know.
that's, that would be a reason for the Tony Khan in this particular role. That would be a reason for him to be upset. Is like, look, now I've got to refund all of this X amount of money that we should have had for you. Like a part of that goes to him. And now it's like we have to go through this whole process of trying to make people not be pissed at us because you decided not to come and do something that you're committed to that's for other people. It's not even about the company at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It'll be
I
interesting.
don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a
it's
shitty
kinda cool
move.
that-
Even as a wrestling thing, it doesn't make sense because you're burning fans.
Exactly. And we've seen how quickly they'll turn on you,
Yeah, but you also got to see the reaction when he came in. They were really going off on MJF. So is that what he wanted? You know what I mean? That's the question.
They always do, though.
I mean, surely any
Except for when
building he
he's
would
in a
walk
company.
into any time in the near future where he's in a professional wrestling setting, he's going to get a visceral reaction for a couple of weeks at minimum, if not for a few months. But if they do end up having to remove him from television for a little bit, it's very easy for somebody to say, oh, well, somebody can scoop him up, but not if he's got a year and a half left on his contract. So, yeah, I hope it works out for everybody because right now everyone's losing. Nobody's coming out of this any better. Tony Khan needs to fix this. Max needs to fix this. All the shit needs to get glued back together, or somebody's career is going to be hurt and a company is going to lose part of like respect.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't take care of an employee.
Mm.
And this is something that happens with bigger companies that have a ton of money and they don't have to necessarily be responsible for all their actions because they don't care. But with something like AEW, where it's small still, as big as it's gotten, it's still very small. It's not a mega giant. And it's not going to take a lot for a company to get like crushed with a few decisions that aren't awesome.
That's true. Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, it's a good point.
It happens in wrestling for like all the time. It's happened several times over the last 20, 30 years. Companies trying to do something, they're okay for a little bit, and then everybody's like, wow, that was a horror story later on. And being that they don't have like a massive, incredible fan base, like it's still very easy to think it can't last forever if there's bad stuff. And I don't know, the MJF thing could be bad for everyone involved. And then there's a couple other matches on the show that are like, there should be better decisions being made as far as booking and talent, like who's being featured on a show like this. Well, it's one too many things at a time, and MJF is a big thing in that spectrum.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we don't know what goes on in the background, so
at all.
This decisions could be made for reasons that we don't even think that we haven't even come up with. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
But needless to say, that was a very entertaining match with MJF. I love the gurney thing. That was pretty awesome too. So, yeah, MJF could do no wrong in my eyes because he's like the ultimate heel. So
I like the gurney thing because at no point was it like clear why they were there. They just came out. There was no sign that he was injured or anything, and he ended up getting rolled out for some reason.
And it was hysterical. Oh man. And then we jump into the Bucks versus the Hardys. The Bucks, man, had the throwback beards and everything, and they were ready to go. A couple of good JR lines were, "Goddamn, Tony, we're getting old." That's a good one. It's one thing to be fearless, it's another to be crazy. We got some high drama in Las Vegas tonight. So, Tammy, what are your notes?
The notes get messier from here on out. All right, let's see. Young Bucks versus the Hardy
third
Group.
match.
What?
I said we're on like the third match.
I know. What did she say?
She's like, everything gets messier from here on out.
Yeah, dude, you just haven't been here for one of these.
All right, let's see. Fun outfits as usual for the Bucks. This time a throwback. Lots of dancing back and forth between wrestling. This is a brothers and brothers Hardy starting out. What, I don't even know. Storing?
Strong, maybe?
Song? I think they are.
Storing squirrel, like a squirrel storing nuts or something.
Nick pushed Brandon even after the weird thong outfit he wore earlier in the week. People throwing people on people now. That was awesome, being pushed on the crowd. They both have Jeff. He's trying to tag in his bro, but Brandon interferes. Matt is deleting everyone into turnbuckles. Lots of rolling on people, flying around. Matt is taking a beating. Thought the Bucks had him, but he got out. All four down outside the ring. Get in the ring. I'm curious how this is going to end. A lot of choreographed, interesting moves with these four. Now Jeff did a nobody home swanton, and now everybody's trying now. Bucks are super kicking. What next? Let's see. All have excellent moves. Jeff swanton's on the stairs and was great. Hardys win it. A super fun, good wrestle.
Right. So let's talk about this for a minute before I let Chris get in on this and tear it apart, because I know he's going to. I have a feeling.
That's okay. I'm not attached to it. It wasn't like the best, most wonderful.
I got one JR line that it just baffled me, but I still loved it. He said, "Swanton works after you hit somebody." Yeah, it would work after you hit somebody.
Remember that. That didn't make sense to me either.
It was great. So this was the Bucks doing everything they possibly can to make the Hardys look good, in my opinion. What's your opinion, Chris?
That actually is probably pretty accurate. The match they had before, there was a ladder match that they had.
Yep.
I think it was for Ring of Honor it's probably Ring of Honor. I don't know, 5, 6, 7. I can't do the math on it now, but it was a while ago, like a good while ago, obviously, with AEW existing now. It was so much better. Like it was the match that like was the Young Bucks Hardys match. Like that should have been the only one. It was okay. Like I enjoyed it. I worry about Jeff though. Wow. Jeff is
he's rough, dude.
He's having a tough time, it seems like. I don't know. And Matt, I've been saying this for a while about Matt Hardy. Like, he just doesn't look like he's happy in that ring. And he's very, like, the way he moves around just looks like it hurts. It would hurt me for sure. I don't know.
He's looking a little stiff. He's a little
stiff. Everything's a little stiff. But I mean, it's been like that for a long time with him, though. So maybe that's just what they've evolved to. But it doesn't, man, I feel like they need a break or something, but they're not going to take one anytime soon.
No.
Chris, did you feel, this is one thing I felt like there was like a lack of a smooth flow. Did you notice that?
Yeah. I think there was a lot of coordination issues on this show. But yeah, this match is one of the ones that kind of felt like it was sort of not quite the perfect timing. And there was other stuff with it too. Like it just wasn't as big and exciting as I've seen with both of these teams through their careers, plus the time that they've already done like all this whole stuff. Like this was something that was already an issue and was big, and it fizzled out after it did its thing. And then now we're bringing it back now for kind of like, weird nostalgia, even though it wasn't that long ago. So I don't know. I didn't hate it as much as I hated some of this other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Wow.
Some of this stuff was terrible. And this was not one of those ones where I was like, oh, that's awful.
Well, I'm gonna have to start.
That's cool.
I'm gonna have to start defending some things here because I didn't think everything was awful. I
didn't say everything.
I didn't think that was.
And
awful.
I'm glad they didn't bring Gangrel back out and beat him up anymore.
Right.
Because damn.
Gangrel, yeah, I know that was.
Oh.
So then we got into the Acclaim promo, which I thought was very hysterical, with Baby Billy Daddy, which is awesome. That whole thing is really starting to crack me up. I'm starting to like that. So
I've been liking that, man. That whole thing is so ridiculous and funny and fun.
It's great.
They're so great with the Acclaim.
They really are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect fit, I think, in my opinion.
I love that the Acclaimed have gone from just being like kind of dicks to like funny assholes. You know what I mean? Like it's good for them to have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
That wants, you secretly want some of the dickheads. You want some of them to win. And they're definitely all in that category. So it's cool to put that together and have like that kind of fun, playful vibe.
Well, they marketed themselves perfectly. They do the rap, and the rap is different every time. So everybody looks forward to just the rap, even if they never wrestled. You know what I mean? And they've done that. They've actually came out and did a rap and didn't wrestle at the beginning of this show. So that's what's the cool part about it. So they've marketed themselves in a way where not only are they good wrestlers, but they've got this gimmick that's really working for them and that everybody anticipates because they love to see all the digs on all the stuff that they do on people. And it's great. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It works good. So we jump right in after that into the Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill. I know we all kind of thought this was a strange thing to put together. I'm trying to find some good lines. There was a couple of good lines by JR, but they kept JR under control on this one here. I'm telling you, I have a feeling. How tough Tony is Anna Jay. Oh, he called Jade an athletic freak of nature. And she's almost Tyson-esque the way she takes out opponents, which I thought was really cool. And yeah, so Tammy, what are your notes on this?
Epic opening, Jade. Jade looking fantastic as she throws Anna around. Anna's superplex. Jade down. Nice try, Anna. Kiera and Red Velvet attack. Double DDT by Anna, though. Anna's giving her best. Why is Mark? Oh, I see. Distraction with a crutch. Anna gets it, though. Johnny Hungy's out here? Hey, men, get the fuck out the way. Anna takes advantage of this distraction, but Jade is out now. Who's another dude walking out? This screws up the match. And Jade wins. Too many chickens in this coop. Chris and Velvet face off. And Athena, who's that? The goddess appears. She seems cool. Everyone is in each other's face. A crowded powerhouse wrestle.
Nice. Athena. She's a physical woman. That's what JR said.
As opposed to an imaginary one.
Right. Too big, too strong. Got to get her down. The heat turned up in the kitchen. My opinion of this. I thought this was a pretty good match. And I think that Anna Jay is at a point where she's good, man. She's a good wrestler. And she was a good match for Jade. And I thought they made themselves look pretty good at the match. I mean, granted, there was no real storyline behind it. It was just kind of like a weird storyline. And then it was kind of like a fitting a square peg into a round hole by putting Athena in there. Cause like nobody's, it just, sometimes these things they just seem odd to me, but I'm not like a super hardcore wrestling fan that knows everything. So I don't know if it made sense to the rest of the fans when, Athena came in and kind of got in Jade's face. And then we have Stokely that comes in, the manager. I didn't know who he was. And so, but I guess it's going to make for interesting storylines moving forward. So What are your thoughts on this one, Chris?
So a long story short, I didn't enjoy this very much. I felt like it was one of those matches on the card that was a little uncoordinated, a little bit kind of clunky, or whatever the description would be for something that feels like you're watching something where nobody's into it, but they want to be into it, but they're not clicking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The match was okay. I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be, because when they first were like, "Oh, it's Jade Cargill and Anna Jay," I'm like, that's not going to make any sense. But chemistry wise, it was there. I just think the experience level for both of them is not quite what it needs to be for a championship match on a pay-per-view. It goes to what I've been saying this whole time, that Jade's fantastic, but she just needs more time doing it before she can make it look flawless.
Right.
And a champion should look flawless. I don't know. It was good though. I didn't want to break my television. There's some things in the world that you watch it and you're like, I wish that wasn't such an expensive piece of technology, because I would smash it right now, because that was so bad and my eyes hurt. This wasn't like that. It was okay. But again, I don't know if I ranted about this yet. You pay a certain amount of money for a show like this. You take a long time to sit down and stare at a TV for 4, 5, 6 hours. Sometimes shows can last. AEW they're not normally this long. This was a long show. And in order to get from A to B, I think there was a lot of things that could have been timed better, and a lot of things that could have just been saved for Dynamite or Rampage or angles on TV or whatever. Like, you can't have so much stuff that you're trying to cram into one show, because it's just, then you're taking away from the stuff that you really want to focus on.
Right.
With all this other little shit crammed in. And I didn't feel like this needed to happen here, but it wasn't terrible.
Right. I thought they were a pretty good matchup, and I thought it was a pretty good wrestle. But like you said, I don't know if it's a pay-per-view wrestle. You know what I mean? I think it might be just a regular show wrestle. So,
yeah, I agree with all of that.
You know?
Totally.
So then
I think the lower level titles, like if they're gonna have like younger, less experienced people hold them, they need to not put those matches on these big shows as a thing to fill time, because they really need to be used sparingly in order to not show as much of a disconnect.
Yeah, that makes sense. Total sense. So then we get to the long anticipated House of Black versus Death Triangle. Couple JR lines. I need a house psychologist, because he was so scared of the intro. That Ray Phoenix, he's quicker than a hiccup.
Oh my goodness.
He's using those educated feet. Breaks become dreams. He assaulted the ring apron on the way down. This is crazy stuff. And then, so Tammy, what's your notes? I'm not going to get into the match. You get into the match.
You can get into the match.
No, I'll put my 2 cents in at the end after both
It
of you
doesn't
go.
really matter. Mine aren't going to make sense. Anyway,
My sole responsibility is to JR's barbecue sauce.
we're going to start penalizing you every time you mention the barbecue sauce. It'll be $1. Okay.
That hurts my feelings.
All right. Zero Miedo. This kid is her death triangle.
What? No one knows your notes. This has gone way bad by this
This
point.
kid is her death triangle. Needed to win for the kid. Who is the kid?
The little Penta.
Oh, okay. Oh, the little kid that was that Ray Phoenix's son?
I look like it.
Oh, that is so cute. Anyways, Phoenix and Malachi are sitting cross-legged across from each other, otherwise known as crisscross applesauce. Then they spontaneously jump away at the same time, very theatrical. This is a good pace, all showing off their skills. Pac in the move that sounds like a Rasa Dasa Colas was magic.
What?
I say,
What did you say? A Rasha Dasa Cola? What is that? Like
Rosa
East-
Dosas Cadas? I don't know. I wrote the best. I sounded it out.
what the hell?
Chris, do you know a move that like that?
A
I have
Rosa
no
Dosa soda. It's an
Rosa-
Eastern European drink. They enjoy it there.
That starts with Rasa or Rosa.
Coca-Colas.
Do you know that? No.
Is it a Arkenrana?
Say it, the whole thing. Is that it?
Arkenrana?
There's only one R that it starts with. Maybe. I don't know. I'll look it up. But anyways, it was magic. I say it every time. He's magical. The dark art's kind of magic. Wowee. To Lucha Bros. They're doing the most right now. Taking people out. Death Triangle working well together. So many great moves.
So many.
Oh my gosh, that big dude. What's his name? Brody? He did this awkward dive out the ring. Come on, Death Triangle. Come on, Pac. Holy schmoly. What is that? The Destroyer? Is that a move?
Canadian Destroyer? Yes.
Okay.
Penta did the Canadian Destroyer outside the ring, which was epic.
Okay, well, it's been 1,000 years since this match happened, so I don't remember.
Right.
Move on the apron. Pac about to finish. But Julia appears with Black Mass. She finally turned. So Malachi ends up beating Pac, an epic dark arts wrestle.
Yes, I agree. This was awesome. I thought it was awesome. I don't care what anybody says. My favorite match of the night, period. We finally got
that opinion, right? If you
I
own it.
do. It was the best match of the night. It had the most excitement. It had everybody involved, especially Brody assaulting the apron with his mass. I mean,
Yes.
for him to be able to get out the ring like that as being a big dude,
I don't know how they do it.
it was sick. And then finally, Julia joins the House of Black. I cannot wait to see what happens moving forward on this, man. I was pumped. My favorite match of the night, hands down. Period. End of story. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's. It's over to you, Chris.
Over to me. Well, okay, so the entrance was super red.
He's like, I'm not sure if I liked it that much, Rafe.
The House of Black, the beginning when they all had their different masks on and there was all the lights and stuff. And then later on, they take the masks off and now we've all got makeup. They've all got makeup, which is super cool. It's a very dynamic look and it goes with their style. Everybody had new ring gear. Everybody out actually on this show, I think, all had new ring gear. Like it was all like a very lot of brand new looking stuff. Anyhow, Julia's a little too late for me. That should have happened like probably a longer time than I can even remember at this point. When did she get sprayed originally? Wasn't it in 2021?
Look, we had an injury. This was supposed to happen a long time ago, and it didn't because of the injury. Give him
Man, I
give
don't
him a
remember
break.
anybody's arms falling off or eyeballs falling out. I think they could have figured this shit out.
I agree.
They wanted
Come
the death. They
on.
wanted the death triangle match. We knew that. We've been saying
Why?
that.
Julia wasn't associated with Death Triangle. It doesn't make any sense. She should have turned on her team because what are they now? Are they still okay? Probably not. But now there's the missed opportunity to have a heel turn on that team. That would have made sense for her to go after the Blondes. But no, what are we doing?
We're gonna be
What is
kicking
this?
everyone's ass in AEW.
What
That's
is her
gonna happen.
vendetta with Death Triangle?
She
She
does.
has no history with those guys.
None.
Listen, I saw it on Twitter, man. She does not like the styrofoam tombstone. That's why she hates. I'm kidding.
That's
No.
funny. That's very funny. Styrofoam tombstone. If that's true, good for her, because I would get behind that cause.
Well, I am behind that cause. I
That's
thought it
all
was
it is.
awesome. I liked it. It was everything I expected. Very happy. Can't wait to see what else happens. Hopefully Julia starts mowing down these fucking wrestlers left and right, man. And just with the,
But
with the
wait,
dark
but wait,
arts.
the House of Black is just gonna fight the Death Triangle forever.
No, they're not. They're gonna
Yeah,
fight
there's-
everybody. taking everybody out. The House of Black. The house always
I don't
wins.
think so.
The house.
I think they're going to
always
run
wins.
this into the dirt. And then there's nothing better after this either. Really?
Justice.
Doesn't matter.
Justice. It's true. So I liked it. Can't wait. Ready. Fan. Buying all the t-shirts. Love it. But that's me. All right. Adam Cole for Samoa Joe. This is emotional. Samoa Joe has the object of his attention is of baby, he said, which I thought was a great line. So, but yeah. So what did you think? Tammy, what are your notes on this one?
Not very exciting. Go, Joe, go. Hits, smacks, chops. Samoa ruling so far. Adam doing his best against this powerhouse. Why is Bobby Fish here? Wow, little Adam wins? Unexpected. Samoa Joe was more powerful, I thought. But little Adam's a good wrestler, so little Adam powerhouse wrestle.
Little Adam.
We're just throwing Little Adam casually now.
Little Adam.
Little Adam.
Little Adam.
Well, Chris was calling this one. He brought everybody's attention to the outfit, the pink outfit. I was like, I didn't even catch that.
Chris. You called it. You were so right on.
That's right. He's got catcher's mid-sized hands. That's Mojo. Go ahead, Chris. What do you think?
Oh god.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Wait, before you say anything, let me guess. You didn't like this. I'm just gonna throw it out. Just guess on that one out of nowhere.
I feel like I just saw this. I just saw a feud with these guys not that long ago somewhere else. So it doesn't feel new or fresh or exciting. There's no new developments that make me feel interested in seeing this again. Did it happen in this company? No. Was it yesterday? No. But still, don't pretend I'm stupid and say it's never happened before, because that's not true. And this is another thing on this match that was recycled from some other time period. And it was a good match, though. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole is never going to be terrible to watch.
No, not at all. It was a fun match.
It was super fun. Joe did a lot of good selling in this match, but also just what a dominant guy. Like, he's so destructive.
I know.
And,
I love
physical and violent and fast, like quick little snaps and then very slow progression of like walking and stuff. But then he's like bang, 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 and you like his opponent's like folded in half and sideways and stuff. And then he's just smiling again. He's got a minute to breathe and relax. It's so effortless and it's great. And Adam Cole is Adam Cole, and he won because he's Adam Cole, and that's what Adam Cole does. So I want to say before we move in, like, I thought the Owen Hart tournament was a babyface tournament. It is certainly not, as evident by this show.
No.
However, if the heels are gonna win the tournament, they probably should not behave as baby faces when they win.
That's true. They did.
That's
well, I mean, it was a touching moment. You had it was. So it's like you have to break it at that.
That's why it doesn't make sense. You just ruin these people's characters by putting them in something where they have to be
sweet and
humble,
compassionate, yeah,
and nice and appreciative and supportive. These are all things that aren't associated with these characters.
That's true.
So it kills the vibe a little bit, but
I agree.
You can't be mad. You can't be mad when it's something nice about another thing. And there's all these company, like, there's so many terrible things in the wrestling business. Like, having them win this tournament wasn't that big a deal, but it's unfortunate for the characters and whatever storyline they're going to do moving forward. And I don't know why why did Martha have to say until next time? Like, okay, so obviously they're going to have to take the belts away from them next year
Yeah.
in the cup, and then it's going to go to the next winners. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems weird to have the first one and have a couple win it that are, I mean, I think they have enough attention right now. I don't think they needed this tournament for anything.
Yeah, but you know,
Anyway,
you
sorry.
you also have to look at it in the sense of, Britt's been there a long time, man. You know what I mean? So it's like,
But she was a champion for a long time too.
that's true. So I don't know.
Like that just got done a while ago.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it might have been one of those situations where they're like, hey, Adam, we're going to give the AEW belt to Punk. So we'll just give you the Owen Hart trophy. How's that? And he's probably like, all right, that's cool. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to say. But
I mean, think about all the other people that were in this tournament that could have been the winner.
yeah,
And there's so many people who probably could have used less of not great run in this tournament.
yeah, that's true. Like,
That's the best way I could think to say it. Nobody got buried or trashed through this process, but none of it was great for anybody else.
that's true. So then we jumped into the Ruby versus DMD. Now, this is the one where I really thought Ruby was going to win this. I truly did. I really did. So
The gear gave it away.
yeah, the gear did give it away. One of JR's lines was, Ruby, don't take your love downtown. Don't take your love to downtown. I didn't quite understand that one, but that was great though. Looks like you're at the other end of the pool. Something's time to put your adversary away. This thing is getting serious. And then DMD wins, which, like I said, I was surprised. I was truly surprised. Tammy, what are your notes on this?
Rancid. Ruby has the win now. Come on, Ruby. Lots of real strong back and forth between these two. Bang, boom, bang. I don't know what that meant. Oh, Ruby almost rolled Britt up. Almost got it. Almost. Britt almost got Ruby that time too. Who will it be? Gloves coming out. Come on, Ruby. Get out of it. Yes, no future. Britt fighting it. Out to the ropes. Ruby isn't having it. She makes it to the ropes. Britt wins. Not my ideal outcome, but it was a really good wrestle. But I mean, Rancid showed up.
Right.
It was a good wrestle.
It was. And it was a really good match. And Ruby, you could tell Ruby and Britt know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? They really do. And they did a great job of doing what they do best. Of course, I wanted Ruby to win. I'm hoping that Ruby gets a shot at some other things soon. I think that the fans love her, and I think she deserves it because I think she kills it. And of course, Britt, sometimes when you don't see Britt for a while and then she jumps in the ring, you realize, oh man, yeah, that's right. Britt's pretty fucking awesome too. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, they were both great, but yep. And we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier about, now the heels are now really faces. So what did you think of this match overall, Chris?
I mean, it was a really good match as far as the work in the ring and all that stuff. I don't like the winners of this tournament or the last few matches leading up to them. It just, I would have, and that's, maybe that's just me saying, well, I like these other people better. So yeah, I don't know. I wasn't super invested in this by the time we got to this point, but it was a really good match and they are both great.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's just about who won the thing and all the stuff that goes with that.
So then we jumped into all the ceremonies and titles. Those were great. That was awesome to watch that. I'm glad that this foundation that AEW is involved with all of it, because it seems pretty cool. And then we jumped into Van Zant, Scorpio Sky, and Paige versus Sammy, Frankie, and Ty Conti. One of the great JR lines was, I don't understand his incessant desire to impress his girlfriend. That was a good line. And but in my opinion, I thought that Paige Van Zant did pretty good. I mean, overall, this was a little campy at times. Was it entertaining? Yeah, I thought it was entertaining. Let's hear your notes, Tammy. What do you got? What do you got as far as notes are concerned?
Love that they came dressed as like Maleficent.
Apparently,
Ethan is excited to beat on Sammy. Sammy uses all his skill to get out. Scorpio and Frankie facing off. Frankie is such a bro, but it's working. Sammy is so good at that cutter. He lures in Paige, and him and Ty set up to hijinks. Frankie trying to take Ethan down. Then Sammy tags in, creating chaos. Finally, Paige and Ty. What? Intergender match? Oh my goodness, Sammy and Paige, yay! Some inappropriate place sheet that Ty fell just now. Come on, Ty. Now Sammy and Ty kissing while everyone surrounds them. And then Frankie abandons Ty and Sam, but now is fighting Scorpio. Ty intervenes and Sammy accidentally kicks Ty in the face. Scorpio takes advantage of the distraction to get the pin for the win. A final chapter wrestle.
final chapter. What did you say was inappropriate? What did you say?
You didn't,
What?
y'all didn't see when she fell in his crotch?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Inappropriate.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I did too. I was like, oh, what is she talking about? We made Chris go, like, what?
Yeah, I
You
didn't.
know I
that
noticed
was-
these things.
I was like, huh? Trying to remember stuff all of a sudden in my head. Like, no, it wasn't them.
Chris, I bet you love this.
This wasn't a great pay-per-view for me, guys.
I can see.
uh,
It's like, damn it.
and
$50.
also, we didn't have a lot of development. So many things are still exactly how they were before this happened.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But Paige was used very sparingly for a reason.
Of course.
Ty Conti is a great wrestler. I don't know what happened here. Sammy Guevara and Frankie Kazarian are actually really funny as an odd couple team up.
They are.
Yeah, I thought the belt thing was stupid, like how they broke into the American Top Team office and stole the belts out of the truck. That was dumb. But this wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that's a great thing. Yeah, I mean, it didn't make me want to turn off my TV. So
Oh, okay. Wow.
that was better. It's again better than some of the other stuff on this show.
So then, well, overall, I think Paige Van Zandt did pretty good for. She's not a wrestler, man, and she's only been training for a couple of months, and so that wasn't too bad. But you're right, Ty is a much better wrestler than what she came across on that evening. She's really, really,
Should
good.
really do anything, really.
She really
Anyway.
can. She's pretty awesome, and it's like there. I feel like that whatever this storyline is taking this away from both of them, both Sammy
But
and
the
Ty.
audience participated in taking it away.
I agree with you. I'm not going to get into a political debate on that. I'm just saying that I think that they are great, and they need something that shows how great they are. And this is not
gives
showing
them
how
a
great they are.
reset by ending all of this and going off somewhere.
Good. I hope so, because they are
Fingers
great.
crossed.
They're great. Period. They are, both of them. And I want to see them actually wrestle and not dick around with this stupid shit anymore. That's my opinion. So we get into Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin. Uh-oh. Let's see. Chris has got that look on his face again. I don't know if he liked it or not. Let's see. Can we predict? We should have a new game. Predict if Chris likes this match or not, just by the look on his face.
I can't see him right now because I had to switch to my
Oh.
phone. That's why everybody.
No. If you're gonna play that game, it has to be watching the match. What do you think watching it? Will Chris like this or not? Then that's a fair fight.
Oh, let's do that then. I'm going to write that down.
What is it? What's the game?
We have to watch a match and guess
You
if
don't
we
have
think
to.
guess and see if Chris is going to like it or not.
Before you see it, Chris?
No.
Yeah, like
I-
as you're watching something, be like, would Chris like this?
Okay. I'm going to put it in my notes.
Put it
It's
in your
really
notes.
easy to just say no for most of it because you'll only be wrong like a little bit.
I got a couple of good JR lines here. Blood is evidence, Your Honor. No remorse on the patella. What the hell? O'Reilly. I thought that was funny.
It was the way he said it though. It was like, oh,
O'Reilly. The love of the game is on display. Fun match. Darby's a maniac, so anytime Darby gets in the ring and throws his body on the line, it's always like a nail biter because you don't know if he's going to absolutely destroy his entire existence or paralyze himself every time he does the shit that he does. The more I'm seeing Kyle O'Reilly, his gimmick is terrible, but his wrestling skills are good. I feel like he should be not in the Undisputed Elite, but in the Blackpool Combat Club as a pure wrestler. That's my opinion. Now, I know a lot of people don't agree with him. I don't think he should be. I think he
Who
should
doesn't
be.
agree with you, Rafe? I've
I'm
never
just-
heard anybody talk about him at all.
Anybody in general. You don't have to debate this right now. Okay?
Nobody's ever talked about him, Rafe.
Ever.
Nobody.
We've never talked about him, and now
I mean,
gotta catch.
he just doesn't come up on the Twitter very often. That's all.
Look, I don't need
I don't
any
think
shit from
anyone's gonna
anybody.
fight you on Kyle O'Reilly, so I think you're okay
Look.
with your opinion.
Look, I've had enough of everybody here.
You got some weird stuff happening behind you right now.
I understand that. I really appreciate you pointing that out too. So that's really good. So anything else you want to do? Is there's like boogers up my nose or what do you got going? I mean, anything else that you can help me with?
If anybody's watching this at all, they see it, okay? So it's not like I'm giving away some secret.
Can you go with the flow? Can you do that? Is that possible?
Rafe's coming to us from The Conjuring instead of the new Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
Good heavens.
And it's like the Blair Witch trial behind him and stuff.
Y'all killing me.
What match are we talking about? Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Darby versus Kyle.
But I'm ready to quit. I'm quitting.
All right.
All right, what?
I thought you were quitting.
I am. I quit. Goodbye. I'm out of here.
Yo, I'm taking a break for a second. You guys got.
Oh, yeah, did he stop? Well, he
I'm
didn't
taking a
stop
break.
it. Is Chris here?
He is. So we need to get your opinion on this match, Chris. Oh, wait, did we get Tammy's notes yet?
No.
Tammy's
don't-
notes.
I don't remember. Oh, okay. Let's see. Darby got kicked brutally. Darby can rally. Darby has O'Reilly now, but Kyle is trying to crawl to the ropes. He gets there. Both already exhausted from giving it all. How do these people do these crazy moves? Slugfest time. Kyle O'Reilly wins. Interesting. It was grueling. A grueling wrestle.
What made it grueling, Tammy?
You know what? It felt grueling. I wasn't that excited when it happened, I'll be honest. It wasn't bad. They're both good wrestlers, but it felt longer than it was. And it felt grueling because they're also kind of, their back and forth was, I think a bit more slugfest kind of thing.
Well,
I
I
don't know
think
if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know how to put it into words, but it was a vibe, as well as their match. So sometimes when I say it's grueling, it's some people are working equally with equal force against each other, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It exhausts you, because it's just grueling because, you're kind of evenly matched. So it takes a little bit longer to get there. I don't even think it was long, but it felt long. I felt like exhausted for them, and it just wasn't my favorite in the first place for some reason. There was just a vibe with it that I wasn't real excited about. So mentally, it probably felt more grueling because the time probably slowed in my brain. But I don't want to be mean because they're both good wrestlers. I do enjoy their matches. It was probably just getting to a certain time in the night.
Chris.
That's me. This match was better than I thought it was going to be. Kyle O'Reilly is really interesting as far as his in-ring stuff. I mean, the dude even has a different kind of walk. Like he's just very unique. And then there's Darby Allin, who's also very unique, but on a complete different like level. Like there's just, it didn't make sense to put them together, but for some reason, everything was there for this and it worked really well. But yeah, everything did feel really long. It was just that way all night with everything.
Yeah, it really was.
So yeah, it was okay. I don't really have anything bad to say.
All right. Well, then we'll move on from that one. That seemed like a tweener. I don't know the storyline or where we're going with that. Obviously, it was because of Sting got hurt, so he had to get his revenge. But that could have been reserved for a Dynamite, to be perfectly honest with you, or a Rampage.
Yeah.
So then we jump into Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. So, Tammy, let's hear your notes on this one.
All right, I was really excited about this one because I love both of them so much. So it was an interesting thing because I'm so happy to see them. I'm so happy to see them on big matches, but I didn't want either to lose. So I ended up very happy with it. Thunder looks fabulous, and I just love that she had the town that just had the tragedy in the middle of the heart on her. So I thought, like, she always does something really touching and special on these big matches. She never lets you down with her look, her symbolism, her honor, and her character. So like that's one of the reasons I just love her so much. How is this gonna go? Serena deserves to be on top, but so does Thunder. And then when they started, I put yes, they are great together. These moves are great for both of them. Wow, this pendulum move is cool. Thunder's on fire with all her colors on her outfit and her moves and her energy. Damn, Thunder just dropped like a sack of potatoes off the ropes. Thunder has been the most dynamic. A lot of our great moves and counters. Now they're slapping each other. Come on, wrestlers, who's gonna win this? So many near misses. Who's going to win? Yes, it was Thunder. A dynamic professional wrestle. I thought Thunder shined so much. I love Deeb, and I think like I always thought she could beat everyone, but when I saw her with Thunder, and they were just they're equally matched, but they had a lot of energy, and I felt like Thunder had way more dynamics and energy. Like it was on a whole nother level than Serena as far as that went. So I loved it, and now after watching the match, I'm definitely like thrilled that Thunder won and kept her title.
Yep. And I'll quote JR's best line on this one. That's a piece of wrestling gold, no matter the gender.
Thanks for the support, JR.
So go ahead, Chris.
When it's all said and done, the match was excellent. Technically, it was a great match.
No doubt.
The storyline going into this was not fantastic, but these are two, they're both really, really good at what they do. And they both do a lot of stuff. So that says something. When you're good at like multiple styles and everything you do looks good and your partner is always good with you and everything is like flowing correctly. It almost, I mean, this is the type of match that like saves a show. Like you can't really say that everybody on it was bad because you've got matches like this where it's like, even if you're not into who's winning or losing or what the storyline is, it's still really good professional wrestling. That being said, the right winner got the belt back. She's still I hope she starts defending the title on TV sometimes because it's starting to be a thing where like you only really get to see her wrestle every month and a half-ish. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And it's not enough. Like the weekly promos at the top of the ramp thing is not doing it for me. So hopefully now that this is coming to a close, I don't really know what they can do with Deeb at this point. Where does she go now? Yeah. Maybe they're going to continue this thing a little bit. We've got Forbidden Door around the corner though, guys. Like that's the next big thing. So none of this stuff really makes sense to go into that. So now the women's title picture is a little, are we looking at Britt versus Thunder Rosa again? Because I don't want to see that.
Right. I don't think anybody does.
But she just won that damn tournament.
Right.
So
yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to go after the belt. You know what I mean? There might be something else on that. So we'll see.
A lot of people lost leading into it though, and AEW is all about their ratings and their scores and where's everybody's stats are at and everything.
Yep. Well, all right.
Wins and losses matter.
Wins and losses matter. Well, we'll see. So then we get into the Jericho Appreciation Society, who looked like a boy band when they came out, versus Kingston and the Crew. Tammy, let's hear your notes on this absolute, total, chaotic wrestling match.
Oh, I struggled writing notes. I was trying to watch. I was trying to figure out what was going on and write notes. So it just really went downhill on these notes. So I'll do my best to even read my writing. Let's see. Chaos from the beginning. Everyone fighting in the audience. Does Moxley have a fork? He really is my wrestling spirit animal if he has a fork. I too think about using forks as weapons. Everyone is bleeding.
Tammy, hang on. Your microphone just went weird on us. Talk again.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Am I normal?
There you go.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I never
like a robot voice for a minute.
Oh, okay. Should I start from the beginning?
Whatever you want.
Probably.
All right. Chaos from the beginning. Everyone fighting in the audience. Does Moxley have a fork? I think so. He really is my wrestling spirit animal if he has a fork. I too think about using forks as weapons. Everyone's bleeding and they haven't even made it to the ring. What is happening right now? What is this vehicle? A scooter? Anarchy. I no longer know what's going on. Santana did sacrifice his body to take out Hager. Now cameras are in the way. No condiments are involved now. Come on, Ortiz, don't let Garcia get you. Concession mess on merch table. I never like a match where Garcia is doing well. Bad payoff for chaos. Garcia dragging Kingston with the belt. Makes me mad. Danielson enjoys kicking Hager. A la Kickfest. This rope up Jericho's crotch move is interesting. Mox is taking, I don't know what he's thinking. Oh, he's taking apart the ring. Big time crash, big time splash by Santana and Ortiz. Right off the ladder. Too much crazy shit happening to record my thoughts. Mox and Dan hit fest on Jericho. Who's Dan? Danielson?
Yeah.
Kingston has gasoline. Hold on, I gotta find page 10. Here we go. Danielson attacks Kingston so he doesn't burn Jericho. Moxley ends up in barbed wire. Jericho beating on Danielson, who comes back and handles both Jericho and Hager. I like it. Hager is now choking out Danielson. Hager and Jericho won. What? This was an unhinged, chaotic surprise wrestle.
It was totally unhinged. There were so many highlights. When Jericho and Moxley were trying to turn on the fucking scooter, I was dying because I thought like that would have been perfect if they were able to get the Razor scooter rolling. Because I would have fucking died.
I forgot about that.
They did. They couldn't get it on. He couldn't get the thing going, so they just said "fuck it," and Mox just walks out with him, beating him in the fucking head. I was like, this is great. I mean, there were so many. Matt Menard, bleeding everywhere, just acting like the wild animal he is, was absolute poetry. I mean, Kingston. What can you say about Kingston? I don't know if he's really like that or not, man. He walks that fine line of absolute insanity, which is just great. I love the gasoline bit. It couldn't have been better. He was getting ready to burn this motherfucker down. I was thinking for a second, I'm thinking, there's no way he's gonna light something on fire. I'm like, I don't see. I know you were hoping, honey, but I was like, there's no way. I was like, they're gonna burn this entire Las Vegas place down if he really like sets a torch to this shit. I was like, dude, it was so epic, man. This is my second favorite of the night. Chris, what's your thoughts on this?
The whole thing was like really fun in the beginning with Jericho Appreciation Society, you guys said they look like a boy band. Somebody else, I think on commentary, mentioned something about a boy band. The shit was funny. Everybody had their own Kangol this week. Everybody was rocking the
priceless.
all white. Great. And then the entrance for John Moxley with Santana at the same time was a little clunky. Like the announcer was doing it kind of weird at a weird pace. And then we got more people and more people. And I was like, wait a minute, they're not even in the same place now. How? And then sure enough, 2 minutes fucking later, I'm like, what the hell is happening? There are people in every part of this place. Is the crowd involved in what's happening? Did somebody just get punched? I was like, wow, it's a lot. And then you get kind of through it and everybody's bleeding and there's all these crazy spots. And then at the end, it's like, holy shit. I guess it's over.
It was
sort of somehow.
And
Eddie
Jericho
Kingston
won.
with his vignette that night, plus the gasoline thing, like that was like, for a minute, I was literally like, I've seen a lot of shit. And is this gonna happen right now? Like, I did not think that. No part of me was like, oh, he won't do that. No, I was like,
Yeah.
he's gonna do it.
He's gonna light that shit on fire, isn't he? And
thought
then,
he was,
thank
too.
God that didn't happen, because the whole shit could have burnt down and everybody, that would have been terrible. But it felt so believable in that moment.
It really did.
And that's, at that point, you know you're good at what you do, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, what a crazy and if it wasn't for matches like this, some of the other ones would have seemed way worse in comparison, because there would have been no momentum to get through the night. But this was like all the adrenaline you needed for the last little bit of stuff, plus the next couple of matches and then some. This was mind-blowingly explosive and physical and everywhere somehow. It was great, but I don't know what it does for anybody coming out of it.
Neither do I. Just like, does it settle the score or does it not settle the score? You know what I mean? Who knows? You don't know.
I think in no way did it settle anything. There was just a lot of people fighting and getting their asses whooped.
And my question is, where was William Regal? He wasn't even there.
He's busy, I'm sure.
Okay.
Probably with something Regal.
All right. Something. So yeah,
He's working on a new soap or something.
This shit was epic though. It was a great match. That one was super fun to watch. Like absolutely super fun to watch. So then we jumped into this trios match for the tag team titles, which okay, you know, it was a match. Starks and Hobbs versus Lee and Swerve. It was basically, it felt more like, to me on this match, it felt more like this was more focused on Hobbs, Starks, Lee, Swerve than really even involving Jungle Express. You know what I mean? Jungle Express was involved only because it seemed like they had the belt, and that seemed to be the only reason that they were involved in this whole thing. Like JR says, Keith Lee, he's all man and a yard wide. So, Tammy, what did you think? What are your notes on this one?
A lot of strength in this ring. Good luck, Jungle Boy, with that. Ricky enjoying his showboat moments, but the rope hits him in the crotch. I don't get that. Lee and Strickland doing some fancy work. Strickland can handle Hobbs. What on earth is going on? Hobbs and Lee briefly working together? Now they're back at it. So much going on. Swerve almost had Jungle Boy. Okay. I don't even know what this sentence says here. Swerve is what? Tantuk? Taduk? Maybe I was trying to say he was talented. I don't know. Tainted? Anyways, who cares? I put this was
tortured.
Tortured?
Tortured. Oh, did he do a torture move?
I don't know. No. We don't know
Oh,
what
I
you're
thought
talking about.
maybe that was a move. A wrestling
I was just guessing at this point to maybe try to.
That could be a whole game. What was she talking about? Okay, I still busy, but I put busy, but good wrestle. Like busy, like there was a lot going on. It felt kind of like people were just kind of showcasing their moves.
Well,
If that makes any sense.
in the great words of JR, Big athletic men bring big money.
Okay.
There's no fear for Willie. If it was a shining stun, it would be blocked right now. There you go. Chris, I know you like Swerve. Swerve did awesome, man. Swerve was killing it.
I know, like, yeah, he really was.
Swerve was killing
I'll
it.
be honest. This one was a snooze fest for me.
Wah, 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 wah.
I didn't like the story. I don't know why Jurassic Express is still the tag title holders. This is all weird. Yeah, the reason they focused more on Swerve and Keith Lee versus Starks and Hobbs was they're clearly the better teams. And there's a couple other teams that are better. The title picture could be much different right now. Not just for the tag belts, for everything, but particularly these belts. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like I'm not going to remember it next year.
So we move on to the main event. And I'm going to be honest with everybody that's listening to this podcast. I got 2 JR lines and then I fell the fuck asleep.
Oh my God.
Not on purpose. And here are my
No
2
credibility now.
And here's my 2 JR lines. And then I'm just going to leave everything up to you guys because I didn't see shit. The anticipation is scary. Those shots to the chest can break up some congestion. And then all of a sudden my notes say Punk wins the title. I'm sorry. That was it. I fell asleep. I couldn't stay awake, man. That's way past my bedtime. I'm an old bastard. And I just couldn't keep my eyes open any longer, man. It's just over. Hey, good for CM Punk. Rah, rah, rah. I have no idea what happened in between. Tammy, you want to enlighten me with your notes?
Well, I was sleepy too. I was sleepy for hours before that. And that's not unusual though for me.
No. Usually that in the first 10 minutes. So
I get things by osmosis. I do scribble and write my notes the whole time. I don't like this. What? Oh, this. I don't even know what this says.
off to a good start.
It starts with a B. Something of Hangman. Anyways, this is just.
What in the world? What are you talking about? His beanbag?
I don't like this BOO something symbol of Hangman. It says Gritta.
Gritta? Wow, we are really. This is late in the night, folks.
I know. I was
God
like,
knows what's happening.
I'm sure that's a word, but anyways, they're giving their all and some steady back and forth. Hangman almost had it with some sort of jackknife move. Crowds are so fired up. Hangman waited too long. Ooh, Hangman throwing Punk around like a rag doll. Crowd chanting for Punk. Then cowboy shit. Everyone's fired up for this grueling battle. Hangman threw CM into a table and a claiming belt is his. Hangman, I don't know. Oh, he lands the lariat and Ref got kicked in the head while he got it. Hangman has the belt while Ref is down. Will he use it and hit him? He almost does, but he doesn't. No, Punk takes advantage and wins. I'm sure the fans are super happy, but I'll miss Hangman as the champ. A tough title wrestle. I'll get back to everyone on whatever I didn't like about Hangman when he was walking out that started with a boo. And I'll figure out what Gritta was. We'll all learn together.
We'll be waiting with anticipation. The anticipation is scary, according to JR. So go ahead, Chris. I don't know about the look on your face with this one.
We got a new champ, new world champion in AEW. CM Punk is now the champion.
He is.
So Adam Page is done with his title run, which was kind of plagued with a lot of make or break feuds anyway. They needed to find a way to get the title off of him for a little while so they could do something else. They needed a big name that could take the title so that Hangman doesn't look worse for it. Punk doesn't necessarily need anything. And if he loses his title in a couple of weeks, months, whatever it takes, he's still going to be immensely over for the rest of his career, no matter what he does at this point. So giving the title to somebody like him and letting someone else come along to take it off of him isn't going to hurt CM Punk at all. But it could have hurt Hangman Page. So it was a really rough match. There was some stuff that just didn't look like it was working out how they thought it would or something, which was the case with some other matches as well. But we were already 4 hours and something deep at this point. And it was a slow pace to this match. None of the action was fast. Hangman was kind of being braggadocious, and so was Punk. They were taking their time in between sets and stuff. It was a hell of a way to end the show. Now we've got Punk with his title run. What does that mean? And what happens with Adam Page?
Well, there you go. I wish I could comment more on the match itself, but I wasn't there to see it. So we will see what
there was a lot of spots that they were like using each other's moves and stuff repeatedly, and they kept not being able to get it. And yeah, it was a long, drawn out match, and it was brutal on both of them. But they didn't need to have this match right now. Punk this is his title run. Like, he's not going to have another one. And if he does, he's going to be past that point where it's okay. So maybe they had to do it now.
They did. I'm telling you, they did. As an aging man, I can tell you right now, they needed to do that now. Trust me. But all right, well, that wraps it up for AEW's pay-per-view Double or Nothing. We are going to get back on our schedule. We're going to have a regular show next weekend, and we hope you tune in for that. And we're looking forward to seeing the fallout from the Double or Nothing and seeing if any interesting developments happen. And as always, like the channel, listen to the podcast on wherever you can. And we appreciate you listening. Thanks, everybody, and have a great night from everybody.
Send us predictions for a Forbidden Door.
There you go. Forbidden Door.
Yeah, good idea.
Predictions for Forbidden Door. That'd be cool. All right, people. Have a great night.